Audi Arco Super Tea is only $34.95 plus shipping. Order now at DeHeboTeaClub.com. 818-610-8088. Dehibo is spelled
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
I'm Jessica Ettinger, CNBC. Major indexes all lower on Wall Street this afternoon. The Dow down 172 points. That's 0.5%. The S&P 500 index slipping from a record high at the open, down 11 points, 0.33%. And the Nasdaq down 85 points. More than 0.5%. Companies whose shares hit all-time highs today include PepsiCo, Facebook, and Google parent Alphabet. The Fed has started a two-day meeting on interest rates and more. Results in the meeting coming tomorrow. Investors will pay attention to what the Fed says about inflation. And investors going through some new economic numbers today. Inflation at the wholesale level. The producer price index came in hot. Retail sales fell for last month as supply chain issues made it harder for consumers to buy things. The state of California open for business today, saying goodbye to almost all COVID-19 restrictions. Jessica Ettinger, CNBC.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit beefy, or even with type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Affordable term life insurance is out there. Call Term Provider and speak with Big Lou at 800-481-1458. 800-481-1458 or visit biglou.com. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
NBC News Radio, I'm Brian Shook. A historic heat wave is hitting the western U.S. Over 50 million Americans are under heat warnings and watches throughout the week. Temperatures well above 100, even close to 120 are in the forecast today for cities in Arizona, California, Nevada, Colorado, Utah, and Montana. FBI Director Chris Wray says he's no less appalled by the January 6th attack on the Capitol than he was when it happened. Wray testified in a House hearing today and again labeled it an act of domestic terrorism. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is giving his stance about ongoing bipartisan talks on infrastructure.
Put me down as listening and hopeful that somehow, some way, we'll be able to move forward.
Speaking on Capitol Hill, the Kentucky Republican said he's anticipating that Senate Democrats will use budget reconciliation to pass a bill on areas they do not agree. I'm Brian Shook.
If you're looking for a full or part-time sales position and you have radio, TV, or print media experience, KCAA has a great opportunity waiting for you that pays the highest commissions in the market. KCAA is the only station in the IE that broadcasts on 3 frequencies, so advertisers receive 3 ads for 1 low rate. This makes KCAA a must-buy for every local business. If you're interested in a sales position with us, email ceo@kcaaradio.com.
The caring staff at Mac Flavor Ingredients reminds everyone to please take the opportunity to give blood. By doing so, you may save the life of a friend, child, elderly person, surgery patient, or an accident victim. So give blood. It's safe, simple, and saves lives. This important reminder is a courtesy of Mac Flavor Ingredients in Riverside, where they care about the safety and welfare of our community. Be a silent hero, and if you can, give the gift of life. Give blood.
Attention! Do you owe back taxes, fines, and penalties to the IRS? The IRS now offers new relief options for taxpayers affected by COVID-19, but you can't go it alone. Call Tax Solutions now. Our team of former IRS agents and tax professionals can get you the best deal. We know the COVID-19 rules. Call us and never speak to the IRS again.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
The virus has caused the IRS to take extensive action to help taxpayers. So if you owe $10,000 or more, this is the best time in years to settle your tax debt.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
Remember, the IRS will not give up until you pay. Call 800-753-9978. 800-753-9978. 800-753-9978.
KCAA.
If you're just tuning in to KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, or streaming live on the Energy House YouTube channel, this is Sarah Wong, host of Master Your Energy. And this week's episode is all about honoring your soul's calling and asking yourself, what is your deepest truth, while exploring new ways to make this a reality. Now, this week's guest is no stranger to honoring her soul. Theo is a Hmong-American healing artist with so many gifts. She's a songwriter, performer, Reiki Master, and supports her clients in connecting deeper with their hearts and voice. In this episode, we're going to explore what it's required to trust your heart and lead with your truth. Let's dive in. Welcome, welcome. We are in the third week of June, and I don't know about you, but it is hot. It is so hot in so many ways. The heat is turning up in everyone's life, and if you're feeling a little out of sorts and just wanting to kind of take a time out, I say do it, because this is a time of change and shift and honoring your truth. And really, the truth showing up could be different than ever before, because we're in a different time. And if you're in California, welcome to the reopening. Not quite sure what that means, but I'm pretty sure that we just find our way forward each and every day and continue to ask ourselves, what is true for us in this moment? Now, this is the week of shift. I'm not kidding, because not only are we moving out of Gemini into Cancer later this week, which is Gemini is an air sign. It's been ruling the mind, bringing in all these different thoughts and ideas, probably driving some of us really crazy, not sure what to do with all of it. And Cancer is the mirror to our soul. It's a water energy. It's like a warm bath. And the Cancer energy is asking us to just dive in and honor our truth and explore a new way. So if you're feeling lost and needing time to just process everything, give yourself space. Now, also, what happens at the end of this week is the summer solstice. So we shift out of spring officially into summer, the longest day of the year. And what happens right before the summer solstice is the ley lines of Earth start to neutralize, which is a really good time to just tap into your intuition, connect to your higher self. And let's not forget, we're in the last week of Mercury retrograde, and that's really honoring, a time where we can tap into those shadow energies and get that clarity so we can start making those new beginnings. Now, today on the show, as I mentioned, I have my dear friend, sister, soul sister, Theo, here with me today. And she's no stranger to energy and new beginnings and finding her way forward. So I thought, you know what? She'd be the perfect guest for today to talk about this energy. So welcome, Theo.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Yes. And, one thing about your journey is, you've always been an artist at heart, I think, from a very little age, always around artists and, aspiring to be your own singer and creator. And it's been a journey for you, like many artists, of finding your voice and not getting caught up in what other people think you should do and, finding your truth. And it wasn't until real recently where you finally were ready to say, you know what, my life, my rules, I'm ready to go forward. So let's talk about that journey.
Oh, my goodness, that journey. Yes, I was like 3 years old, 3 or 4 years old. I already knew that I wanted to sing and I wanted to use my voice and my gifts to help people. And, as you grow up, there's obligations, and also I grew up in a refugee immigrant family. So, the number one priority is to survive and security. So when you're like, I want to be a singer,
right.
It's not the career that is that's going to provide you the most security.
And that's, at a young age, when you hear that, or, you're pretty much raised in that mindset, it almost makes your dreams unachievable.
Yes. It was interesting because I was very strong-willed, which gave my parents a headache. But I just could not live anything but my truth, and that was since I was born. Yeah. So even though I was told not to do this, not to do that, I would go and do it anyway. Like I would audition for things, even though I knew I wasn't supposed to, and then I would make the play or the team, and then they would have no choice but to allow me to do it, which is so mean.
Go watch you perform.
Yeah, which is, not the best for parents, who are working very hard, but I've been fighting like that my whole life. And, I'm 37 now, and I worked in digital advertising for over 10 years, and it was great. It was awesome. I mean, that world as well, and that's actually how we met.
Yes.
But we didn't actually become friends until we both left the industry.
Yeah, we followed our truth and our souls connected.
Right, exactly. And just with that, just trying to please other people or like take care of other people. I'm such a big nurturer that I felt like I had to take care of everybody, and it was just burning me out. My soul was dying inside, to be honest with you, and I was really depressed and going through a really, really hard time, and I was like, I need to change my life. This fire inside me hasn't gone out yet. I've tried multiple times, and I wouldn't say failed because they're all learning experiences. But now that after I've gone through my deep healing, I took a few years plus to really just shut out the noise and focus on me and what I really need, and also about my past lives and ancestral healing and everything. And it's all connected. And ever since I discovered that side of spirituality and Reiki, and working with you, Sarah, if you don't know, Sarah is amazing, and she is the one. My friend bought me an Akashic Records reading with Sarah, and I had just left the industry, and I was really going through it, and she just opened my eyes to so many things that made sense of why I was having certain issues, and why I was having trauma, and why I couldn't sing. Like my throat chakra was so blocked, my heart was so blocked from being hurt and used in the past. And, my 3D self is like, I'm strong enough to get past this, it's fine. But in reality, all that is like simmering in the background, So once I chose to go into my healing, it really not only helped heal me, but then it gave me the gift of healing too. And I love that. I love it when people just are changed after a session, and I just appreciate that so much. And now, yes, I'm ready to tell my story and to share my voice with everybody.
You mentioned that fire never burnt out. And, what's interesting is I know so many people who are in jobs right now that are not happy. And they're like, my body's rejecting my job. Like I physically, mentally, emotionally have nothing left to give. And I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I always say the first part to start is just go to that burning fire. Where is that guiding you? It's always been there. Yeah. That inner voice, that inner calling. And, usually we just say, no, we can't do that. Or no, that's not acceptable. Or no, that's not going to be, that's not going to create financial freedom. Or that's not for me. That's for someone else.
Right.
And the more we give ourselves permission to say, well, maybe I can create that. And maybe it just requires me to explore a possibility in a new way with a new belief system. Starting there is usually the eye-opening. And so, as I mentioned, this is a time of shift. So if you are in this energy of like, I feel stuck, I feel heavy, I feel like the whole world is spinning around me and I have nowhere to put myself, you're actually in alignment. You're in alignment to the universe, which is a good thing. And you're not lost. You're not going crazy. You're not having a midlife crisis, whatever age you're at. You're ready to address that burning fire, that question of what it's going to require you to believe in yourself. Because that's step one. Because money, is a value. Money is attracted to a frequency of the value you output. And if you put good value, you're going to get a reward. And it's going to be opportunities, abundance in so many different ways. But you got to create that value.
I'm so glad that you talk about money and finances, because I knew that was the biggest hurdle for me once I left digital ad sales. I was making six figures, providing for my family, helping to buy a home, traveling, having, all good life. But that can only go so long. It doesn't feed your soul, at least my soul. And I was becoming so depressed, even though my bank account was like stacking. And so when I made the shift, I knew, okay, I'm making the choice to go after my creative aspirations, and that doesn't have money right away, And I knew that was a sacrifice I was making. And it took me a while to get used to the new, way of life, and readjusting and living month to month, sometimes week to week, day by day. And I am still doing that now, but I'm not ashamed of it, because I know that this is the work that I need to put in now, and the sacrifice that I put in now. And like you said, once you put the right vibrations out, like I know that if I continue to move forward every single day with my mission, I just know that abundance will come, and I don't care about money as much, but would it be nice to have financial security? Yes.
And that, it is that day-to-day presence and aligned action, because if you just have hope, wish, and dream, that's great. That's great. You can definitely manifest that way. I've seen it. I've done it millions of times. I wrote a list, and it's exactly what's happened. I manifested, my husband, I manifested our dog, Seven. Oh. We said we wanted a brown dog that is good with little dogs and is friendly. And for months, we went to the animal shelter and would look for this dog. And one day, we go to the shelter, and this family has this brown dog. But they were turning him in, so he wasn't available for adoption. And I noticed they were crying. And I just kind of witnessed them. And then my husband and I left, and we actually wanted this other dog, but it wasn't ready for adoption for a couple of weeks. So we're kind of bummed, because we just really wanted another dog. And we go out to the parking lot, and the family's there with the dog, the brown dog. And they approached my husband and were like, hey, we found this dog 2 weeks ago. We can't find the owners. We have 4 dogs. We just can't keep it. Do you want it? And we're like, yeah. And so we took it with no leash. They already checked to see if it had a microchip, no microchip. So we immediately go to the vet, have it all tested, and he's fine. So we've had him for 5 years, and he is so sweet. And
he is.
That was manifested through intention. So it happens. And also aligned action. We had to go to the shelter with the intention of the brown dog. And it showed up. And I love that story, because every time I see Seven, is what his name is, I'm reminded of possibility and miracles. And he is a very beautiful dog, and so connected to emotions. If anyone's angry or upset, he goes to the more angry person to love on them. He's so in tuned, and he's, we have chickens. He's good with the chickens. He doesn't even try to eat them. So, and he's half pit, half lab. And, he doesn't have, he's afraid of humans here and there, but, he's still working on that. But, it's a good reminder that sometimes you can just have an intention and continue to pursue it. It took us a few months to manifest it. But it showed up, and that to me was probably one of the biggest miracles in my life, because I was like, wow, that actually happened. And my husband and I've done this several times. When we put our intention together, we manifested our home, we manifested our store, and now we're manifesting other things. And it's through intention, aligned action, and belief that we can do it.
Ooh, that's the big one right there. Belief that you can do it. I struggled with that for a long time because of trauma from my childhood, and that made me feel like I couldn't use my voice. And that was big part of my healing process, was learning how to truly love myself unconditionally. And I have to say, for anyone's listening, if you're going through your self-love journey, just give yourself grace.
Yes.
It takes each person their own time, no matter how long or short it is. So it's your journey, and yeah, be patient with yourself.
It's like sometimes divine timing, right?
Yes.
There's our timing,
Yeah,
our
yeah.
ideal timing, right?
Right.
Like, I need this to prove I can do this.
Yep.
And if this happens by this date, then I'll know.
Mm-hmm.
And then it feels like it doesn't, but then other things
Right.
open. And if we give ourselves permission to obviously have that clear intention, but not an agenda.
Yeah.
And to me, agendas are, I need this to happen so I could prove this, where intention is, I want to create this because I know it's what my soul and my heart believe I'm here to do. And the biggest thing I will say about manifesting is giving it everything you got and not selling out on your dream, not selling out on your fears, like addressing them and seeing them, honoring the fears and saying, you know what? This is true right now, but it's not my truth.
Right.
And being able to take that energy and say, how can I use this to inspire me and move me forward? So anytime fear pops up, because they're everywhere. And right now in the collective, if you're just tuning in, we're talking about how this is a week of shift. And, the shift happening right now is on an individual level, on a collective level. And it's up to you to create your own path. So giving yourself space and allowing yourself to say, okay, I'm here now and I no longer wish to be here. What is required of you moving forward? And it might not be a do. It might be just a believe because you might not have anything to do. And there might be the opposite. You might actually be really happy right now and having a hard time feeling good about that, So there's a spectrum happening right now where some people are like in their flow and they're feeling really good and others are in shambles.
Yeah.
And I think when that energy is in the collective, as it is right now, it's a polarized energy, which means our fears can just dominate. And we're still in Gemini energy. We're still in Mercury retrograde. And yes, this is the last week of Mercury retrograde. And we have what's called a post-shadow Mercury retrograde, which is about 2 weeks. So it's not as heavy, not as many technical issues, but it is kind of a residual energy of lingering things we need to wrap up, old fears we need to address, taxes, things we've been putting aside. If you, got your extension, there's nuances, and it's a good time to wrap up, whatever is ready to evolve.
Yes.
So that's pretty much been your journey and evolving into your truth.
Yeah.
And, one thing I love about your journey is how you overcame depression and said, you know what, I'm not dimming my light anymore. I'm going to do whatever it takes to figure out how I can turn on my light again.
Right. So, and it was really my sole purpose that kept me alive, to be honest. I was really hanging on by a dental floss. That's what it felt like. And even when I was laying there, just not being able to move or do anything, it was just that tiny, tiny spark of fire in my heart that was still there. And if that was still lit, that gave me the inspiration to move forward and heal myself. So yeah, that fire inside is so powerful.
And that's a huge shift. I mean, I know so many people that suffer from depression, anxiety, overwhelm, even boredom. And boredom is a version of depression. I'm bored, I feel stagnant, I'm not happy, I feel uncomfortable. That's actually a form of depression. And it doesn't necessarily mean it has to control you, but to me, when that energy shows up, it means you're not in alignment.
Right.
And there's something else your energy's needed somewhere else. It's not needed where you're at. And believe me, if you don't feel comfortable in your job, I'm pretty sure your job doesn't feel comfortable with you there either. I'm not being rude. I'm just saying, like, it's, energy matches energy. And you're feeling what you need to evolve from. Yeah. So what was that pivotal time for you when you're like, you know what, I'm no longer just going to stay here in bed. I'm going to I'm going to just explore a new way.
You know, man, that's tough because I feel like it happened multiple times.
and that's the reality.
Right.
Multiple times you're going to have to pick yourself up.
Right. It happened multiple times. And, I was in the habit of whenever I felt bad, I would just go and stay by myself. So I wouldn't reach out to people. And people didn't even know that I was suffering through this because I was so silent about it. Because I was the one who normally helped other people. So I was like, what do I do?
Yeah. And
through the process, I had to learn how to receive. And it was a long process to get me out of there. But one of it was that I noticed that the people that I was hanging around at the time were a little toxic for me. And not that they're bad, just that we weren't meshing. And it was kind of eating away at me and my energy. So I was like, this isn't right. I'm going to kind of like go a different direction, move back down to where other people are and my friends are in a community where the energy felt good. And
that's huge.
Yeah, so
I know
huge.
So many people right now that are like, I don't resonate with my friends anymore. Is something wrong with me?
Yeah.
Like, why can't I just go out and drink anymore? I don't even want to drink. I just want to do stuff. I want to live. I want to experience stuff, and they don't want to travel, or they just, it's.
Yeah.
And to me, sometimes we grow out of friends and have differences,
and that's
alignment.
okay.
It's okay.
Totally okay.
You don't have to just write them off and say I'm not for you. You could just be like, right now, I'm not going to give you my energy.
Right.
Because I need to put it somewhere else.
Right. And that's one thing is if you're a giver like me, and sometimes, through my stuff, I learned that I was giving maybe to make up for things or to receive love in return. But I realized I was doing that all for the wrong reasons, and I needed to pour that love back into me. And so that was the change. I was I was tired of feeling the way that I did. I was just what really, really helped me though was right before quarantine when you and Rebecca offered a Reiki level 1 class.
Yeah.
And it just called to me because I felt like at that point I had done everything I could on my own to help myself, but I couldn't move to the next stage. And when I took up Reiki, that completely changed my life.
Same for me. When I learned Reiki, I finally felt like I had a tool that I can use for my energy. And
amazing.
I'm like, wow, I can actually
to master your energy.
Yes, exactly. It was the tool. And I also feel that it allowed me to build a relationship with my energy and my emotions and my thoughts,
everything,
and awareness.
Oh my goodness, everything.
Yeah, and I have tools to clear it and work with it. And so I feel like one of the biggest things with shift and taking your life on is finding new tools, finding friends, perspectives, because when we open up ourselves to new friends, new ideas, new opportunities, new job, a lot of people talk about quantum leaping or shifting a timeline. That's what that is. Because when you shift your energy to match a vibration of wow, I really enjoy this. Which I'm so excited because on the second half of the show, Theo and I have been writing songs on the side, and one of the songs is actually about this, is when you connect with a team, a group of people that you just vibe with, and you feel alive again. You're like, they get me, I get them. And they're out there, right now is a time of alignment and our frequency alignment, not our ego alignment. Right. Before we were more in ego alignment and now we're in frequency alignment. So, the show Master Your Energy is really mastering your frequency and your thoughts and, where you put your energy. And it's individual. There's no it's this way and that's the right way. It's really just moment to moment. And sometimes we're going to be in situations that are a little bit toxic and heavy. And, it's okay to just witness. And not engage.
Right.
If someone's saying something like your family member, I hear this a lot. My family members and I have different point of views. I feel like I don't belong here anymore. Why are they my family? And, the biggest thing is, why don't you just love them?
Yeah.
You don't have to fix them.
Yeah.
You don't have to correct them.
Yeah.
They get to have their own experience.
Yeah.
As long as they're not doing harm to others or yourself. Having boundaries is important.
Yes.
But sometimes we can just witness someone's journey and know that's okay. That's where they're at,
Right. And that's funny because that's actually what happened with my family was that, my second oldest sister, she started her healing journey and then I did and then my other sister did. And we all separately though. Yeah. And even it was, you can already sense the difference in the energy with the whole family, just because individuals were starting to take their healing seriously. You know, it affects everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah. Anyways, yeah.
I can't wait to dive in. After this short break, we're going to really tap into Theo's journey with rediscovering music, finding her voice, and taking things to the next level and really pursuing her music in a new way. So with that, make sure to keep tuning in to KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, and we'll be right back after this short break.
This is 1050 AM, KCAA Loma Linda, and 106.5 FM, Yucaipa.
California headline news. The state reopening businesses at full capacity today, dropping its mask mandate. Governor Gavin Newsom saying the state has made progress in getting people vaccinated.
We have now administered over 72% of Californians 18 and older have received at least one dose of vaccine. 72%.
Those who haven't been vaccinated still asked to keep their masks on when indoors. The governor urging people to continue to get vaccinated, offering an all-expenses paid vacation to at least one of 4 separate parts of the state. Temperature records could burn away today, a heat wave hitting Southern California.
I think about these children, hoping that people don't leave the kids and the pets in the cars. So that's a huge concern for me.
Excessive heat warnings in effect for inland Los Angeles and Ventura counties, North and South Central California as well. Lawmakers hoping to boost the state's legal marijuana industry. Legislature approving a $100 million plan to support the industry, which continues to struggle due to the illicit market. Jeff Scott, California News.
Sadness and misery, I don't feel either of these. I'm in a good mood.
Okay.
Hey, man, what's wrong?
Well, it just didn't sound very bluesy.
He's probably happy because he found out Honey Nut Cheerios can help lower cholesterol as part of a heart-healthy diet.
Oh, hey, Buzz.
Okay, well, let's try it again.
Smile on my face.
Nope, that's still happy.
Have a change of heart with Honey Nut Cheerios. Learn more about Honey Nut Cheerios by picking up a box at your local store.
Hey, California, did you hear about the big vaccine incentives program? You Call the Shot California gives $50 incentive cards for things like groceries or shopping at your favorite small business to the next 2 million Californians who begin and complete their vaccination.
KCAA Radio has openings for 1-hour talk shows. If you want to host a radio show, now is the time. Make KCAA your flagship station. Our rates are affordable and our services are second to none. We broadcast on 3 terrestrial frequencies to a population of 5 million people. Plus, we stream and podcast on all major online audio and video systems. If you've been thinking about broadcasting a weekly radio program on Real Radio plus the internet, contact our CEO at 281-599-9800. 281-599-9800. You can Skype your show from your home to our Redlands, California studio, where our live producers and engineers are ready to work with you personally. A radio program on KCAA is the perfect work from home avocation in these stressful times. Just type KCAAradio.com into your browser to learn more about hosting a show on the best station in the nation, or call our CEO for details, 281-599-9800. Tahibo Tea Club's original Pure Pau de Arco Tahibo tea helps build the red corpuscles in the blood, which carry oxygen to our organs and cells. Our organs and cells need oxygen to regenerate themselves. The immune system needs oxygen to develop, and cancer dies in oxygen. So the tea is great for healthy people, and it can truly be miraculous for someone fighting a potentially life-threatening disease due to an infection, diabetes, or cancer. A 1-pound package of tea is $34.95 plus shipping. To order, please visit TahiboTeaClub.com. Tahibo is spelled T like Tom, A-H-E-E, B like boy, O, then continue with the word tea, and then the word club. The complete website is TahiboTeaClub.com. Or call us at 818-610-8088, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, California time. That's 818-610-8088.
During this time of uncertainty, Indy's Demolition in Huntington Park is open for business, and the staff is optimistic about the future of our community. Now, more than ever, it's time to shop local. Indy's Demolition encourages all listeners to support small businesses and local families. Share your buying and service experiences online and by word of mouth. Together, we can mend the fabric of our community. That's from Indy's Demolition in Huntington Park, where they're reminding everyone your hand is the heart of our community.
KCAA Radio has openings for 1-hour talk shows. If you want to host a radio show, now is the time. Make KCAA your flagship station. Our rates are affordable and our services are second to none. We broadcast on 3 terrestrial frequencies to a population of 5 million people. Plus, we stream and podcast on all major online audio and video systems. If you've been thinking about broadcasting a weekly radio program on real radio plus the internet, contact our CEO at 281-599-9800. 281-599-9800. You can Skype your show from your home to our Redlands, California studio, where our live producers and engineers are ready to work with you personally. A radio program on KCAA is the perfect work from home avocation in these stressful times. Just type kcaaradio.com into your browser to learn more about hosting a show on the best station in the nation, or call our CEO for details, 281-599-9800.
If you're just tuning in to KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, or streaming live on the Energy House YouTube channel, this is Sarah Wong, host of Master Your Energy. And this week's episode is all about honoring your soul's calling and asking yourself, what is your deepest truth, while exploring new ways to make this a reality. Now, this week's guest is no stranger to honoring her soul. Theo is a Hmong-American healing artist with so many gifts. She's a songwriter, performer, Reiki Master, and supports her clients in connecting deeper with their hearts and voice. In this episode, we're going to explore what it's required to trust your heart and lead with your truth. Let's dive in. And we're back. You know, this week is the week of shift, honoring your truth, and really taking your life to the next level. So, Theo, thank you for being the inspiration this week with me and sharing your story and journey to music.
Aww.
And if you're just tuning in, Theo has shared her journey up to date, and, you know, we're going to dive into some of her new projects that she's been working on as a vocalist and producer and artist and healer. And, you know, one of them is your new single release that's about to debut. It's actually debuting first here on KCAA Radio. And the song is So Good. So tell me about the journey of So Good.
Oh, my goodness. Well, I wrote this song about 1.5 to 2 years ago, and it was just at the point where I was trying to get back out there to start singing again and going back in the studio. And it took me over a month to record this song because I was having so much trauma in the studio. And bless my producers' hearts, Tim and Romeo, they are amazing, and they were so patient with me. You know, and I've worked with other producers before, and it just wasn't the right vibe. But they're just so kind and open. They understood that I had to take my time, even though it took forever to do it. And not only that, but the song was written actually inspired by somebody that I was kind of like seeing at the time. And why it's important is because of what happened to me in the past, I never allowed myself to like someone more than they liked me. And this was the first time, and I was an adult in my 30s, actually putting myself out there without knowing if the person would reciprocate.
Right.
And so this song is about that, is about me basically confessing my feeling, opening my heart, letting go of fear, and just risking it all, not knowing what I'm going to get back in return.
I love that. You know, and sometimes things take longer, like divine timing. You know,
Yes.
it was your energy now is so different than I'm sure a year and a half ago. And
So
the
different.
song is a ton of energy and deserves that energy. So I could see why the universe directed it to you in a way that allowed you to cultivate it and almost grow into it.
Yes. And it was very healing for me. The whole process was exactly what I needed.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit about that process, because you wrote this song as well.
Yes. Well, the funny thing is, for any creatives out there, you know, sometimes creativity just hits you. Like, you can't just sit down sometimes and be like, I'm going to write the song. Sometimes it just comes, as you know. You know, Sarah just channels songs all the time. So, but I wrote this in less than an hour. because, you know, when it just
Yeah.
hits, it just hits. And so I don't know, but what I want to try to say, but like just being in the right vibration, you know, and I'm just so proud of myself and excited to have this platform to share this. And it makes sense that I'm doing this with you, who has helped me to open up my throat and my heart chakra, you know, which I'm so thankful for. Thank you so much. And
it's been an honor.
I'm like, who gets to debut their song on the radio, you know? So I'm very grateful. I got to give a shout out to my angels and my guides and Source, because without my team, oh my goodness, I just got chills all over my whole body. That means they're here with us. Without that support, I wouldn't be able to use my voice to help others.
That's right. And you believed, you said yes. Like, yes, I guess I could say I supported you because that's what you said. But, you know, you are the creator. Right. Everyone's the creator, and you created that. And I just held space. And
which is so important.
It was a conduit in that process. But you took that energy and was able to apply it where you needed. Yeah. You did the work.
Lots of work. It takes work.
And, you know, work doesn't have to be like 9 to 5 work.
Right.
It's dedication, commitment, belief, and trust, and knowing like you're worthy of being on the radio. You're worthy of sharing your music and sharing your gifts. And that's the hardest part is for most of us is understanding that we all have value. Yeah. Because we forget. We easily forget because we compare or we, you know, fall short and give up so quickly. And it's really easy for singers to give up because there's so many out there that, you know, try, and, you know, every door closes.
And as an artist, we're so in our heads. Yeah. We're our worst critic. Yeah. We're so critical of everything. Yes. So it's also that is like readjusting my perspective. Yeah. You know, and not having, you know, not letting the pits really get to me. Right. You know? And because they'll come. Yeah. And that's really the beautiful thing about mastering your energy and learning these tools is that it's not going to be perfect all the time. Things are going to happen. But if you got the tools in your pocket and you're dedicated to it, you could really help yourself out a lot.
Yeah. And saying yes versus just saying no. You know, others will say no, but you don't have to. You know, I know so many, I love, you know, I could sit here and quote them all, which I won't. But, you know, there's so many stories like, you know, Walt Disney, his first job, he went for, I think it was like a newspaper, and they're like, you're not creative enough. You have no imagination. And then, you know, he went a whole other way. Right. And there's story after story of that. Yeah. So it's like, you know, don't take the no as the definite answer. It's your energy's not needed there. It's needed somewhere else. Right. And sometimes it's your own path and your own journey.
Yeah. And I kind of feel like that's what, you know, after quarantine and COVID and everything, it's really made everyone kind of reassess and kind of figure out, oh, wait, maybe I don't have to follow the herd. And it's all about creating your own path and being original and, you know, thriving and stepping into your power. So,
and there's so many different ways to distribute music now. Like, you don't have to go the traditional routes anymore. You can get your music out to millions actually very easy now. And people need uplifting music. And, you know, yes, there's some amazing stuff out there, but in my opinion, there's not enough. Yeah. So thank you for saying yes and being here today to share this amazing energy with us.
I'm so excited.
Are you down to perform?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Okay. Well, with that, let's cue you up. And just a reminder, this is live. And so shout out to Theo for saying, yes, I'll do it live. And, you know, no expectations. Just do whatever your heart is ready to do.
Let's have a good time. Yes. And I'll say that this is actually the first time that I'm ever performing this song. So, and live and just, I mean, singing in general. Like, I haven't sang in a while. So this is so a big deal for me. So thank you so much. And I hope you guys enjoy. I wonder if love grows when nobody knows how to love. I wonder if love knows that there's someone there for you. Yeah, here we go. There's something you gotta know about me. I didn't have the best example of love, you see. And honestly, it's taken everything in me just to tell you this. But I gotta know, 'cause I'm curious. I wonder if you notice me when I'm looking at you, 'cause I do. I wonder if you care that I miss you when you're not there. I wonder if you know that I do anything for you, 'cause I could, I would give you everything you wanted, baby. Tell me that you want it good, so good. Baby, tell me that you want it, and I'll give it to you, baby. So good, so good, so good, so good. Come on, baby, no need to lie, 'cause I've been waiting a long, long time to know if you have been feeling me. Tell me, am I losing my mind? And maybe we can find time and go over how you can be mine. 'Cause I could, I would give you everything you wanted, baby. Tell me that you want it good, so good. Baby, tell me that you want it, and I'll give it to you, baby. So good, I would give you everything you wanted, baby. Tell me that you want it good, so good. Baby, tell me that you want it, and I'll give it to you, baby. So good, so good, so good, so good. Da-da-da-da-da.
Theo Yang debuting live on KCAA.
Oh. had a little bit of technical difficulties on my end in the beginning, but that's cool. We rolled with it.
You did it. It sounded amazing. I love that song. It's my jam. It feels like, I grew up in the 80s, 90s, and it just rocks my world. Like, yes, this is my jam. I love this.
It's
I
got a
love
little
it.
retro vibe. Yes, yes.
Yeah, so really
Thank you.
beautiful job.
Thank you.
I hope you're proud of yourself.
Yeah, I used to be a perfectionist. I used to be like down on myself with little things, but I'm like, you know what? Mistakes are kind of the things that make life beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm good with it.
And you know what? Nothing in life is perfect.
Yeah.
So why pretend?
Yeah. I'm all about the mistakes,
This
honestly.
is all about the authentic truth. We are in
Yes.
the authentic age.
Yes.
No BS here.
Yes, exactly. I think the only person who'll know is my girl Kisa, who knows this.
Right. And she probably also knows how amazing you did. So let me echo to that. You did amazing.
Oh,
thank you for
thank
sharing
you.
your voice. Now, we do have one more song I would
Yes.
love to get to
Oh,
if you're
let's
open
do it.
to
Let's
this.
do it. Now that I got most of the nerves out,
Yes.
let's go.
So this song, I randomly started channeling lyrics and writing
Yes.
songs, and Theo was kind enough to entertain my lyrics. And we had a really fun process because, one thing that came to mind is I love certain songs and their vibration's low. And so I sing them and I feel awful afterwards. Yeah. And so I'm like, I want to rewrite these songs that I love and do it in a way that is high vibration. Yes. And so this song we first wrote together because, writing is a process and it does require a few iterations and, massaging the lyrics.
Yes.
And so the process was so fun with you. And, the song that we wrote together is all about when you connect with people like friends.
Yeah.
For the first time. And
Soul
you leave.
friends.
And you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited because I finally feel like I have other people I can create with and connect with and do things with that I really want to. And so this song was originally Irations Falling, and we rewrote it to be Ascending.
Yes.
And so
I love it.
with that,
Let's go.
this is Ascending.
We met on a full moon. I was really attuned. That's just me feeling the mood. You said I was vibing, I was just aligning, all about exploring my truth. When we said goodnight, I knew it was right. Something in our souls aligned. That's our souls connecting. Now my heart's awakened. It's all starting to align. I'm ascending, hoping you're ascending too. I'm ascending, ascending here with you. Here we go. Expert intuition, got my own visions, lining to my truth each day. Love is here to stay now. Watch it as it plays out into every heart we sing. Then to my surprise, opened my third eye. I thought I was empty inside. Now my soul is clear and my mind is so near. Nothing can kill this vibe. I'm ascending, hoping you're ascending too. I'm ascending, ascending into something new. Ascending, hoping you're ascending too. I'm ascending, ascending into something new. Ascending, hoping you're ascending too. Ascending, ascending into something new. Ascending, ascending into something new. Ascending, ascending into something new. Alright, if you're listening out there on the airwaves right now, you're listening to Mastering Your Energy with Sarah Wong. I'm Miss Theo. If you are having a hard time right now, go ahead and just relax and open your heart and let that light in. And I hope that you find the power and the courage within yourself to heal and to step into your power. And together we can all raise the vibration of this world and ascend. Ascending.
I love it.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna outro because that was it.
I love it.
Oh my goodness, there was another live one.
There you go, 2 in a row.
Oh gosh. Sorry, producer. Thank you so much. Thank you so much in the booth over there. Like I was having another audio issue.
Oh, that is KCAA Radio. They are amazing. Always got our back. You don't worry about that. Thank you, Theo, for sharing your heart and being courageous enough to say, you know what, I will step up to the plate and deliver, and you did. So this is definitely a beautiful energy of the week. You know, we're shifting out of some mucky waters, and we're finding a new way forward, every single one of us.
Yeah.
And we're still in uncertainty. We're still in an unknown time. And you know, your music, your vibe, your love matters. And, you know, echoing that to everyone listening too is, you know, we have an opportunity now to create something different. And we don't have to replicate what was.
Right.
We can move forward in a new way and take this as an opportunity. If you need that permission slip, I got it for you. Because it's, this is truly a time to say, I'm ready. I'm just ready to go for it, and in the most responsible way that you feel is available. So Theo, thank you for saying yes.
Oh, thank you for giving me this opportunity to face my fears and conquer them. So I appreciate it so much.
And you're a good example of saying, yes, I'll face these fears and know what's possible. So any last words of wisdom as we wrap up this amazing segment of inspiration?
Oh, my goodness. Thank you again, Sarah. And yeah, just you have permission to love yourself.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. And make your dreams come true. This is the one life you've chosen for this particular lifetime. So why not make it the best that you can?
It's true. We have so many opportunities in life to show ourselves what we're capable of. And oftentimes we think we're not ready, or we don't know enough, or maybe we're not good enough. And there's other people that are better, or, why bother? Right. Everyone's already doing it. But the truth is your energy's needed. Yeah. And that's why that fire keeps coming back and keeps lighting up and keeps giving you ideas and visions. And that's for all of us right now. There's a fire in every single one of us that's just waiting to ignite and shine bright. And we need you.
Shine bright like a diamond.
We need you. So take that as an inspiration and a reminder wherever you're at in your journey. Don't forget how much value every single person has, even if it's a smile or just being nice to one another. Yeah. In a time of war, in a time of change and mass shootings, it's toxic. And there's a lot out there that we can dwell on, or we can also remind ourselves there's more good than bad.
And I'll have to add to that if you care about helping to change the world, then change within yourself first, because that's the best way to do it.
I always say, imagine a world where we start with ourselves.
Yeah.
And then we go to the family, and then our neighbors.
Yes.
And then the community, and then the state, and then the world. We keep broadening it out, but a starting point is always first with yourself. Yes. And we've got to fill ourselves up first.
Yes, absolutely.
Otherwise, life is just going to happen around us continuously. And we can easily spiral out, or we could spiral in.
Right.
And when we spiral in, I guarantee you're going to find something there. You might have to look hard.
Spiral in. I'm like imagining myself spiraling.
Yeah, you're like, ooh, all the thoughts, bring it in to that heart center, not the ego, the heart. Feel it, embrace it, give yourself space.
Yeah.
And really check in, what is here for me? Right. What is being asked of me?
Right.
What is a new way? What has always been a dream of mine that, it's funny, my whole life I heard, you're a writer. I'm like, I hate writing. And then I started writing lyrics. I'm like, I love writing lyrics. And I'm like, maybe I'm meant to write songs. I don't know, but it's to me, it's just a fun process of journaling and creating with people of like-minded and, not having any attachments to it, just having fun. And
that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Having fun.
And that's, every time I go into things with I'm just going to explore and have fun. Yeah. It's always bigger than I can ever imagine.
Right. Yes.
And I just have to give myself that permission.
Yes, to just flow.
Just flow.
Show up.
Just go with it.
And that was what my guides told me a while ago, because I was like, I got to do this, I got to do that, I got to do this, I got to do that. And they're like, Theo, just show up.
Just show up.
They're literally like, you don't have to do all that. Just show up.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
And I have, and it's been working, so.
And I'm glad. So with that, thank you for tuning in. And Theo, thank you for being here today to share all your light and inspiration with the world. It is greatly appreciated in these ever-changing times. And with that, I will see you all next Tuesday at 4 p.m. for Master Your Energy. And I can't wait to share more inspiration and light and talk about the energy all around us, because it's happening. Stay cool, stay grounded, and keep shining. Yay. Thank you for tuning in to Master Your Energy here on KCAA Radio, the station that leaves no listener behind, and also streamed live on YouTube on the Energy House YouTube channel, where you can also find live activations, meditations, and other content to support you on your energy healing needs. If you're looking for services, products, tools to go even deeper, please make sure to check out energyhouselb.com. That's ENERGYHAUSLB.com. On that site, you'll see a list of services, products, and so much more for all things energy, mind, body, and soul. With that, have a powerful week, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. on KCAA Radio and YouTube Live.
KCAA Loma Linda, 1050 AM, 106.5 FM, and now 102.3 FM.
AP News, I'm Tim McGuire. As gun violence and mass shootings increase, the members of the